Thorley Trevorrow. He's going to be joining us as well. Thorley is a up-and-coming racer. He's been racing in Austria. We're talking about him a bit later on. I think we'll kick off. We started off about where we all started and what have you, but tell us a little about your experience in your first ever race.
Oh, God, I don't know if my memory can go that far back. My dad said if you want to start racing, you can build yourself a bike. Through the motorcycle shop, obviously. And we ended up screwing together a Triumph Tiger Club made up of parts and crash bikes and God knows what else. And the first race that I done was a place called GASK, G-A-S-K Aerodrome in Scotland, in Perth, up in Perth. And I always remember, I thought I was like flattered, but oh yeah, two-piece leathers, PVC, none of your leather stuff, two-piece PVC suit. And I thought I was really going fast. I must have been doing 60 miles an hour. And the track was a left-hand track, left. And Davey Reid and George Buckley and one or two other guys, because the practice was everything. When there's a 125, there's a 250. The practice was everything until they put the circuit up and you got going. And these Manx Nortons passed me. I thought I was doing really fast. There's about 6 inches space between me and the edge of the banking. And these 3 Manx Nortons passed me on the inside of me. I said, I want to do this. I want to do this. It's that first one.
What about you, Chaz?
My first race My first race was 25th of July 1965, Brands Hatch, short circuit, racing tomorrow, 250 Greaves. I finished 4th minute, 8, and 4th in the final. And it's like it was yesterday.
And that was the beginning?
That was the beginning, yeah, of 15, 16 years of road racing, club, national, international, and Grand Prix racing. And I'm one of these lucky people that can look back on their life at 75 years old and think, I'd do it all again if I had half a chance.
He's a liar. Well, you would do, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely, you would.
The times that Chaz and I had from Grand Prix at that time, and we're talking about, we would go from the club racing, we would then go to nationals, and nothing happened in Scotland. I was Scottish champion many times, and the only place that held in any stead was in the continent. So we'd go the local championships, then go to the British championships, Brands Hatch, Select and all that stuff, and then go to the international series, and that was the build-up. We went to the internationals, and that would eventually lead to having a start, to qualify for a start in Grand Prix. That's how you qualify for your license, and then you've got to start in Grand Prix. And Chaz and I went side by side, blow for blow, girl for girl, all the way up to Grand Prix. TT winner, Grand Prix winner, not quite. I was second in the 750 championship.
Yeah, you were, yeah. That's right.
I was nearly a star, but he made it anyway. There you go.
Just to say with Chaz is the only rider in history to actually win a Grand Prix, an FIM Grand Prix on a 125, a 250, a 350, a 500, 750.
I had very good mechanics.
I'll tell you a story about 750. We went to Underland, it's a former 750 race, and Chaz is very switched on and come to the old dinero. So this race had a main qualifiers race, and the guys on the B race who didn't quite qualify. Now I knew he was pretty good in the 750, but he didn't qualify, so he was then downgraded, if you want that, into the B race. So we all going, Chaz didn't qualify. We came to the race, and we were struggling for like 4th, 5th, 6th, something like that, out of 30 odd guys. Comes to the B race, he smokes them all, wins the race, and takes home more prize money than the rest of us put together. Is that true?
Yeah, I remember that's absolutely true. It
I
was in
remember
that.
that as well.
And I looked at the entry list. There's Kenny Roberts, Steve Baker, all the top Americans. I think Greg Hansford was there. And I looked at it, I thought, I'm not sure. I reckon the best I could finish in this is maybe 6th, 7th or 8th.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the money for the B race, and it was the same as for fourth place in the main 200 miler. So I thought, I'll go for that. So I had a bit of a breakdown in practice, never completed practice, so I had to start from in the second race.
Played the part really well.
Yeah, but hold on, you haven't heard the punchline yet. When I looked at my race, the B race, I found that Will Hartog had also had a problem, and he was in it. And of course, I knew I wouldn't struggle with him, but Will and I were pretty evenly matched. I think I was probably a bit better on the smaller bikes, but I think he was better on the 750s. So anyway, the flag dropped, and I made my way through up to the leading group. And Will's there with his white leathers and looking pretty supreme. And I came past him, and then I never saw him again. And I thought, I must have ridden really well and beaten him, but he'd actually broken down. So I got me money, and I went away a happy man.
So we're in the paddock thinking, poor Chaz. Chaz in the paddock saying, I'm in the money. It taught me a very, very good lesson, and that was to read the regulations carefully, especially the bit about prize money for the B races. So we were feeling sorry for him. He went home with all the gold.
Yeah, it was a good era, and we were very lucky to go. We were very lucky actually, Alex, to come out of that era with 2 arms, 2 legs, and half a brain.
I won't go any further than that, body parts. Yeah, so from that era, we are possibly just about the two.
Yeah, it was a very dangerous era. I mean, all the circuits that we used to race on.
And loved doing it as well.
Yeah, enjoyed doing it. We're really dangerous.
Oh. The more dangerous it was, the more pressure you had. No, seriously, I think we were addicted to it.
I think we were lucky also. We were able to race on the really historic circuits, the 14 kilometre or 21 kilometre, 14 mile Nürburgring, full Nürburgring circuit, Spa-Francorchamps, which was the old Grand Prix.
Monza.
Yeah, Monza. Yeah, Monza wasn't a favourite venue of mine because I was involved in that.
Utterly scared.
That bad accident with Jarno and Renzo. But Spa-Francorchamps I was actually brought up a good Christian. I was a good Catholic. So I went through quite a good Catholic education, but unfortunately I haven't lived my life as a good Catholic. But I have to say, Spa-Francorchamps was the only circuit I used to go to. I used to go to church, say, please God, get me through this one, because it was really, really dangerous. In the Isle of Man, you start at 10-second intervals, and if someone makes a mistake, hopefully the marshals have got it cleared up in 10 seconds before you get there. But at Spa, you used to go down this long straight called the Master Straight, and there was a kink, a left and a right hand kink, and it was absolutely full bore on a 250, even in those days, with probably doing 130, 135 mile an hour. And I remember one 250 race, it was wet, and I got a really good start, and I was behind the MZ, his German bike. The exhaust pipes used to come out through the seats, but they used to be very fast but very dangerous because they used to seize. And I remember going down the Master Straight following a Hungarian rider called Laszlo Szabo, and as we peeled into the left-hander, I saw him roll it slightly, which he shouldn't have done because that leans them off. And as he did it, I saw the puff of smoke come from the right-hand pipe, and I thought, that's seize.
That's the leaf signal.
And I went for the inside, thank goodness, and his bike went sideways. He didn't fall off, but if I'd been as close as I should have been with him, I'd have run into the back of him. But yeah, it was very dangerous at Spa.
The speed down that straight, I've got a photograph somewhere of the 5 of us, you, me, Dodgy, who else? Not on North, who else? There was 5 of us anyway. Billy Nelson, one other one. And there's 5 of us, and these 5 bikes, all exactly the same bikes, like nose to tail, going through this Master Kingdom. You just say to yourself, we had You've got historic parade running at the circuit, but they also had a tour, 3-day tour, the one-lap tour.
Where?
Spa.
Oh, no, I don't remember that.
Yeah, they had, the last time I went there for the historic thing, they did a one-lap tour of the circuit, and they opened the gates up, and they actually travelled on the old circuit, which is still there complete. And the guy who owned the bike, I was in that Kajira, and he says, Alex, he's Italian by the way, I don't want to make the lap. Oh, no, you're alright, don't worry, I'm not going fast. I don't want to make the lap. So don't worry about it. I convinced him anyway to let me go on the bike. He gave me the bike. There was about 60 of us all went down the straight, going around the circuit. And what's that one you go down the long right hander? Stavro, yeah. Go up the Stavro, and the circuit's closed, you know, it's a race circuit. Come down now, there was a bloody milk truck. And there's literally loads of us up there. Went back to him and I told the guy with the bike, I said, oh yeah, that's fine. The bike was all a bit dusty. He says, do you have any problem? No problem. And then somebody else says, the bit of the truck, he's not coming. We thought it was going to be way too for this milk truck. But yeah, wonderful memories. And you had to be scared. If you weren't scared, you weren't going to make it. I don't mean, oh, I'm a tad scared. I'm like absolutely bricking it. If you weren't like that on the start line, you weren't going to ride well.
Spar he was on about, it's El Rouge.
Oh, Rouge.
That is
That's
a
the
downhill
downhill
that is
left
flat
and
out.
right. Yeah. No, not flat out. It's
No.
flat out in a car, in a Formula 1 car. Now,
Yeah.
but we don't do it on a bike flat out. As you go into the left hand, you chuck it down 1 to 5th, and then I think as you go right, put it down another one to power through the left hand at the top.
Yeah.
So 4th, 5th, 5th, 4th.
And if you're not been to any of these famous circuits, and you have the opportunity to do so, please do it because, we're in Monza.
They can't go around Nürburgring anymore.
Yeah, just
It's been
read that.
banned for motorbikes.
Dangerous motorbikes have been banned at the Nürburgring
Sorry?
as of last week.
The apparently days a year just for bikes.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
they're
know
not.
that.
They're not allowing them out with cars
Right,
anymore.
yeah.
But
It's all a money thing because
Oh, yeah.
when a motorcyclist falls off, he gets hurt. When a car driver crashes, he doesn't get hurt.
well, that's
Yeah.
but back in your time, I mean, practice.
What do you mean back in my time? Cheeky sort of.
But no, the practice was sort of mixed, wasn't it? 125s, 250s, you're all out together, weren't you?
Some of them were, but towards the end they were all sort of segregated, you know.
They started,
Yeah.
Talking to the Nürburgring. They send out the 50cc bikes. This is like 6 o'clock in the morning. I swear to God, I never with me. You send out all the 50s and nobody comes back. Goes to 14k.
Yeah.
We sent all the 50s out and no one came back.
I know why.
No,
I remember it.
Yeah.
It was because it snowed.
Snow, that's
It
right.
snowed and the
But
50s
the other
couldn't
ones
get
did
up the
not.
hill because of the snow.
Nobody could get back up the
Can you
hill.
imagine that in MotoGP now? I remember that,
You
yeah.
can imagine on the MotoGP going, oh no, there's a flake of snow here. We're the bloody avalanche.
Yeah.
And the guy said, Achtung Vorderrad, Motorrad, das 250 Kubik. These 250s have got to go now. And he didn't, he just kept dropping the flags, send them out. I was in 350, we got down to Adenau, which is right at the bottom of the circuit. It's on the side of a mountain. You're right at the bottom of the circuit. There's all these kiddie bikes everywhere against the fences and everything. Hundreds of them, I exaggerate. But they're all there because nobody could make it back up the hill to get back to the circuit, back to the finish again. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Did Dick won it?
Sorry?
I think Dick won it. No, it was, who won it?
Well, Nürburgring.
Yeah, it was Dick won it.
What, the Eiffel Rennen
Yeah.
race, I won it. I won the 250 race, I won the...
fighting,
Did you see how quick he was in there? Did you see how quick he was in there?
Keep it
That was
clean.
not money
His
paid.
PR engineer. Well done, Charles. Well
But
done.
actually, Alex, you and I both used to go better at the really dangerous circuits.
Yeah,
Because I remember Opatia, I won Opatia. And Opatia, in Yugoslavia, it was Yugoslavian Grand Prix, it couldn't be more dangerous because
Side of a mountain.
it was the side of a mountain. So if you crashed on one side, you go into the mountain. If you crash on the other side, you
In the
drop down
sea.
about 200 foot into the sea. Yeah.
And we loved
Horrendous.
it. We loved it, I'm
we
telling
did.
you.
Yeah.
I crashed there.
I think we'll have to get Thorley racing at some of these dangerous circuits.
This is how the Continental Circus used to work, which is now MotoGP. And they all looked after each other. I looked after Chaz said he looked after me. He's lying again, but anyway. If someone got off, the next lap round would be the end of the session, or whatever the case may be, and all of the guys who were racing in the same race would go and report back. So in my case it would be Linda, or in your case with Tanya, and Marianne should say, and you got to know the girls in the paddock knew exactly where it was and what kind of condition they were in by the time you got back to the paddock. Anyway, going up the Sydney's mountain thing, I went too quick into one of them, the front end chatted away and it clipped the side of the mountain. What did you do on a Sunday? Well, crashed into a mountain. So the bits were all broken. By the time we got back to the paddock, John Dawson had a footrest, Billy Nelson had a clip on, Jack Finley had a screen, somebody else had the numbers, and in the space of half an hour you're ready to go again.
Yeah, you were.
But you had to make sure before you even put one bean in your mouth, you replaced all of that stuff, and that's how the system worked. It was basically one big lot of spares owned by everybody, and you needed one bit, you needed another. So wonderful time. That's why we're still talking to each other now.
Taking part of the Continental Circus, I mean, basically you live in a van for the season. You just one circuit.
Yeah, we used to hook up a caravan in March.
You had a caravan?
Yeah, I had
Bloody
a caravan.
hell.
Yeah, you used to say you're a tight Scottish kid, that's why. I had a caravan. I lived it up. And we used to put 2 lights in the back, and we used to go off. We used to go down to Italy, do 6 meetings in Riccione, Cesenatico, those sort of meetings before the GP start. And then up to, I can't remember where the first one was actually. It might have been France, it might have been Le Mans or something like that.
Le Mans, yeah.
And then you just go from one meeting to the next, and then get ready for the TT. And the funny thing about the TT is I watch them nowadays with all the different tires. Well, even with the little mini bikes now, we change in the mini GP series 3 or 4 tires a meeting for the kids. But in my day, you used to put on a front tyre at the start of the year. I can't remember, what was it, KR96 or something like that? KR76. We used to put it on at the start of the year, do all the way to the TT, and then you used to turn it, so it was going the other way round, do all the practice, and then Peter Ingley used to come round and done, I think we should change that tyre, didn't you, sir? Yeah, all right, okay. And then we used to change that tyre, change the rear tyre, do the TT, but even in those days, the TT used to, because you're in the air quite a lot of the time, it rips the back tyre up, so we had to change at the end of the TT before we used to go to the Dutch, put new tyres on at the Dutch Grand Prix, and then go probably through the rest of the year with the same tyres. So we used to have 2 sets of tyres, 3 sets of tyres for a year, and now we do 3 sets of tyres at the mini bike in a meeting.
I went to Dunlop, thinking it was a big boat trader now. I said, okay, Peter Ingley. Peter, yes, Alex. What special tyres have you got for this particular meeting? Because I know some of the walk traders have special tyres. Right, he said. You know what I'm going to say. Yeah. Do you want round, black ones? Yeah. Or do you want black, round ones? I said, just give me what you got. And that was it. There's nothing else changing.
No different compounds. No wet tyres. Really easy to race.
Yeah.
You've got just one set of tyres.
And then Michelin came on board, and with basically bigger size moped tyres. That's what it looked like, didn't it?
Yeah.
PZ2s and PZ4.
Yeah.
And these square looking tyres is what we used to race on, because they were cheaper than buying them from Dunlop or anybody else.
And actually, I think the Michelin tyres, I think I was probably one of the first to switch over to Michelin tyres, and they were really good.
Yeah.
They actually were better than Dunlops. Dunlops then had to up their game, and then it became a tyre war, which I think is a shame about MotoGP now, because I think it would be better if there was a bit of a tyre war. I'm not sure that MotoGP is going quite the right way at the moment. I mean, going to modern, for a slight change of subject, in in my personal opinion, the Moto3 races, you probably, a lot of you probably don't watch the Moto3 races, but it's very, very close. And I think it's very dangerous because it's so close. You get packs of 10, 12 riders, and if one rider at the front falls off and happens not to split one way or the other and stays on the circuit and gets hit, that's when these boys are getting really badly injured. And I think the FI and Dorna's way of possibly going to 450s for the Moto3 class might be a better way, because it will split the group up and you're not going to have such big groups. I think it'll make better racing, it'll make it easier for the
Are you up for being an FIM commissioner?
Sorry?
Are you up for being an FIM commissioner?
Yeah, I don't want to get the shrapnel already got from it.
Don't use that time, I'm not being any commissioner.
One time, I mean, some using a lot on the rear, wasn't they?
You could do that, yeah, you could do that. I know some people did, but when I was racing I had actually a contract with one or the other. And when I split with Dunlop, I then had a contract with Michelin the following year, so I couldn't do that. But I know some of the people that weren't contracted did do that, have a Michelin on the front. Michelin front was always very, very good, very stable, yeah, but the backs were probably not quite good, yeah.
We still win some races, I'll let you win some races.
Yeah, you did.
But of course, Michelin and when he was with Rossi and all that, I mean, they were making tyres specifically for him.
Some of the, talk about trick tyres,
Yeah.
you couldn't pull them off the floor.
Yeah, I think they've got quite a few different compounds now, haven't they, in MotoGP? 3 or 4 different compounds.
They get so many a meeting, don't they? They choose the compounds for the meeting, they get a choice of 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And some are, I forget what they call it, but they're soft on one side, hard on the other, and something else in the middle. It's all so complicated.
All changed.
Yeah.
I must have a new back tyre to improve my steering. Seriously?
Yeah.
With the back out. You could turn the corner faster. Anyway, who's got any questions about anything?
I'll tell you what, I've just got to say something.
Oh dear.
Many years ago, I used to run a motorbike racing school.
Yeah, I remember it, yeah.
And I've just been approached by Tom Walker-Munro, who was one of my pupils at the racing school. It's been a long time since I've seen you, Tom. It's really nice to see you again.
He's got his first trophy in his pocket.
He has got his first trophy. Yeah. So, Tom, what do
Tom. One of the first pupils of the Charles Mortimer Racing School. There he is. He must be doing it right, and here he is. He's alive and kicking. And that's a trophy. Look at that. Excellent. And he got his national licence.
Charles,
you've given me a right red face here, I'll tell you. Sunday market job, that is.
Yeah.
I'm only kidding. Was it the first race?
What's that?
What was the prize?
First race, yeah. Was that Bemsey?
Bemsey,
yeah. Well, I started with Bemsey. One of my first meetings was Bemsey.
Most of the champions came from Bemsey.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Oh, we are, isn't it?
Yeah. Scottish AC in now.
Watch it, Mortimer. What was the prize money? £2, £6. We went Scottish Championship race. The first prize was £6. £6. Ticket fees was £5. Oh, wow.
Nice to see you.
Thanks,
Tom.
sir.
All the best.
Applause, please. Come on. Go on.
So let's just moving on to, we're talking about the circuits, and we talked a bit about this morning, but the safety has improved so much over the years. Some of the little private circuits suffer now with lack of runoff, but I mean, these MotoGP riders, they wouldn't have ridden on the circuits you
No,
rode.
absolutely not. There's no way. And I see, because the bikes are so quick now, they need this runoff. But one thing I find interesting is that the bikes are cartwheeling now, where in ours days they didn't. They used to slide, because I think they used to go onto grass or something, didn't they? Now,
You remember grass?
yeah.
They go into the gravel and it just picks them up and it spins them over,
Not good.
Dear old grass.
Yeah, they are much safer, which they needed to be.
Now, moving on from that is roller development. I mean, that has changed a lot over the years. I mean, I expect when you've got your first licence and actually ask you if you can ride a bike. No, you just apply for the ACU, have a medical, and then the postman will deliver your licence.
Yeah.
But no one actually says you can ride a bike.
No.
That's all changed these days, which is a good thing. And that means like what we're doing with young rollers, Chad.
Yeah,
You're always videoing.
I dropped out of bike racing for about 20 years, and I got involved again about 4 or 5 years old. And come on, Thorley. And I sort of mentor. Come on, come stand here. I mentor some young riders, and this is one of my boys, local boy for you. He's from Bristol, Thorley Trevorrow, 13 years old. He's been riding with me in Austria, in the Austrian Championship. And he finished second last year. We're going one bigger this year. We're going for the 190 class. This is in mini bike, 12-inch wheel bikes. As you probably know, as here, this is a 160, which has got 10-inch. But as you probably know, Dorna that run bike racing have formed a Steps to MotoGP, which is a really, really good system. It's a good way of getting the kids in. They're taught properly from a very young age. Can start up, what's it, 10 years old, isn't it? Yeah, 10 years old in the Mini GP. Thorley went through the 160 class last year in Austria, finished second. We're going together in the 190 class this year. He will then be in British Talent Cup for the following year, and hopefully European Talent, Junior GP, Red Bull Rookies, and into MotoGP. I've got one other boy, Ethan Sparks, that he's in Spain this week training. He's won Austria last year, finished fourth in the World Championship, the Children's World Championship in Aragon last year. He should have won. He knows he should have won, but the brain got too much for him. He's closing in on the win behind two Italians and lobbed it, but we've all made mistakes. He's not going to do that again.
And Charles has
He's
made
very
good as well.
Very quick. You'll see much of him, I think, in years to come. So we've got a good basis now. We've got a good system which Italy and Spain have had for many years to help these children up the ladder into MotoGP, and it just needs people like yourself to support and to give them as much encouragement. Come and see us at meetings. You won't see Thorley this year, but you'll see Ethan. He's riding for City Lifting Cavara in British Talent Cup. And I mean, between you and me, I tried to take a bet on Ethan winning the British Talent Cup this year, but the bookies wouldn't take it. Now, he's been out in Spain, and he's been doing very well in Spain, and they've obviously know that he's going to be quite a good threat in the UK in the British Talent Cup. But I think we've got a super little fabric. Danny Webb, that I formed the racing school with last year, he runs the racing school, been in Spain. I've dropped out of that, and I'm sort of helping the kids that are progressing a little bit further onto the next rung of the ladder.
In your own words, tell them what you think of your team manager.
Chaz has been great the past 2 years. He's been really helpful. We were in a small championship in the UK called B&B. I had done a few years in that, and then we were at the championship was going really well. It was the second round of the championship, and Chaz had won me. I think he had won the race, and approached me. He had heard some people talking about me, and he approached me and said, "What do you think about coming up to Austria with Ethan and me?" And from there it kind of just took off. So, yeah.
How articulate is that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very fortunate because at 75 years old, I'm still doing exactly what I want to do.
76 shortly.
75 now. A couple of months, 76, yeah, I know, but yeah, and I've still got the enthusiasm for it. I've got probably more enthusiasm for doing this than I have done for years. As some of you probably know, I used to run a transport business, which I have actually started again in a small way. But the children were what I want to I think I can put more time into helping the families, because a lot of these families, as Thorley's mum and dad didn't have a background in motorcycle racing, that's something I can help them with. Unfortunately, they still have to foot the bill, and with 2 daughters, I'm sure it must be a big struggle for them. But we've got a nice basis. We've got a good basis for a team, and we're going forward, and I hope we can do some good things. Yes.
We have their full names of the 2 riders.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Full names, so we can watch out for them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is Thorley Trevorrow, and the other boy is Ethan Sparks. I'll give it you after the thing. And Danny runs the school in Spain. We had, I think, 24 out there last week, all 2 or 3 steps back from what Thorley is, and 3 or 4 steps back from what Ethan is, the pace that Ethan's at the moment. But what we're able to do in Spain is we're able to give the boys far more track time, because the ACU, as you probably all know, the ACU has never been backing British racing. They put more hindrance in front of kids. And we can't run them at this age in England because of insurance, but we can go out to Spain and train in Spain. So the schools have all been very supportive. I've had to write letters for some of the children, because a lot of the schools think that we're taking them out just to go for riding in fields, but it's actually a structured framework that we put in place to help promote the kids. And the schools are very supportive, in particular Ethan's school. He's actually had to give a talk about his racing in front of the school, which I think he found very embarrassing. But something like this, as I can't remember what it was like to be 13 years old. This is a big deal for someone like Ethan and Thorley, because obviously in front of a load of people, it's quite, I don't know, what's the word? I'm looking for a word.
Intimidating.
Intimidating, thank you very much, Linda. Yes, yeah. But the more they do it, the easier they'll find it.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was an unpaid promotion of Mortimer racing and the future of racing in the UK.
Yes, it really is, yeah. There's a very interesting series on Discovery Plus. I watched it last week, funny enough, which is the 2024 season of the Red Bull Rookies, and it really goes in depth to what they go through, basically.
Yeah, exactly,
You know, the amount of money that families got to find, and it's real hard.
What we've done with Thorley and Ethan.
23.
Oh, was it 23? Sorry.
He knows everything, but they do it
better than me.
What we've done with Thorley and Ethan is we've got him out in front of the people that judge the Red Bull Rookies. Gus Lauinger, that runs Red Bull Rookies, runs Austria. So I've got my boys out in front of Bristol 2 years before they'll go to the qualification for the Red Bull Rookies. And Red Bull Rookies can get anything up to 1,000